I'm super excited because I'm seeing the progression. I mean, third race of the year or third 100 of the year. And I'm already seeing I'm back into 9.90. You know, if the wind blew a little bit, it would have been a 9.89 race. I mean, you can't get more excited than that. Noah Lyles said with visible delight during the pre-race press conference in Lausanne. On August 20th, he was gearing up for his fourth Diamond League appearance of the outdoor season. Two of them in the 100m and another in the 200m. But here's where things get interesting. At the Monaco Diamond League, Noah Lyles got the better of Olympic champion Lyles Tebogo in the 200m, avenging his defeat to the young sprinter in the Paris Olympic final. But when it came to the 100m, the story was different. Lyles fell short in both of his Diamond League outings over the distance. First to Oblique Seville at the London meet, then to Kishane Thompson at the Silesia stop. The London loss marked Lyles's third setback against Seville in just 14 months, while Silesia amplified Kishane's victory as sweet revenge for the Olympic defeat he had suffered at Noah's hands in Paris. And then in Lausanne, Lyles once again faced Seville in the 100m, determined to put on a blazing show and flip the script. But this time, too, things didn't unfold the way he had hoped. On August 20th, battling rain and a headwind, Oblique Seville once again pulled away from the Olympic champion, clocking 9.87 seconds and dealing Noah Lyles yet another setback. For the American, it marked a third straight defeat in global 100m races this season. And the post-race discussion exposed more than just frustration over his sluggish start. A disappointed Lyles admitted, "I just had a really bad reaction to the gun after that. There's not much I could do." Fans had already highlighted this weakness after the Silesia meet, but Lausanne made it clear that several issues on his end remain unresolved. Yet beyond these technical flaws, there's an even more troubling narrative emerging. One that could become a serious obstacle for Lyles heading into the Tokyo World Championships. For the first time in his senior career, Noah Lyles has suffered 3 straight 100m defeats in a single season, all at the hands of his Jamaican rivals. 2 of those losses have come courtesy of Oblique Seville. But since stepping onto the senior circuit in 2017, Lyles had never faced such a streak of setbacks. True, at the London Diamond League, he clocked his fastest ever season opener. But even that came alongside a loss to Seville. At present, the Jamaican sprinter holds the upper hand over Noah in the 100m battle. Allow us to add another layer there. On August 20th, 2023, Lyles defeated Seville in the 100-meter final at the Budapest World Championships. But then, exactly a year later, Seville flipped the script and avenged that defeat. A perfect full-circle moment? Perhaps. But what's certain is that the win gave Oblique Seville a major confidence boost. Reflecting on his performance, he said, "Running 9.87 in those conditions shows I can go much faster anywhere in the world. That's a good time." Now, reports also confirm that Seville won't compete again before the Tokyo World Championships. Which means, if Noah wants to even the score, he'll have to wait until then. The real question now: will he be ready? Noah Lyles isn't giving up on his hope. Noah Lyles' sluggish reaction at the blocks is clearly costing him in the 100m, but his top-end speed is still world-class. On August 20th, he needed 6.51 seconds to clear the first 50m, while Oblique Seville blazed through in 6.41. Yet over the last 50m, Lyles matched Seville stride for stride, both covering it in 3.46 seconds. The takeaway? If Noah can clean up his start, his form could shift from shaky to dominant in no time. And he knows it. Speaking after the race, the Olympic champion said, "The goal is to sharpen the details, especially my drive phase and my start, heading to Tokyo and the World Championships." Later that day, he echoed his mindset on social media with a post quoting Galatians 6 verse 9. "Let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not." So now, here comes the big question. With his faith, speed, and determination all aligned, can Noah turn things around and reclaim control of the 100M when it matters most in Tokyo? For years, Noah Lyles has carried himself with a swagger befitting the man who sees himself as heir to Usain Bolt's throne. From world championship crowns to charismatic declarations, the American sprinter has cemented himself as one of track and field's brightest stars. Yet as the countdown to the next major championship continues, a new storm brews over the horizon. A storm tied not to rivals like Fred Kerley or Letzel Tebogo, but to Jamaica, the island's sprinting powerhouse that has always loomed as both rival and measuring stick. According to recent reports, Lyles' concerns about Jamaica are no longer just about competition on the track, but about the very environment in which the sport thrives. What was once his stage of pure competition has revealed underlying issues. Track problems that may reshape the sprint narrative in ways no one expected. Jamaica, a land of sprinters and shadows. To understand Noah Lyles' worries, one must first appreciate Jamaica's unique position in sprinting. For decades, Jamaica has produced a conveyor belt of talent. Usain Bolt, Johan Blake, Asafa Powell, Shelley and Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and Shericka Jackson. Their legacy is so profound that even American champions have measured themselves against Jamaica's best. For Lyles, the Jamaican challenge has always been a barometer of greatness. To beat Jamaica is to prove yourself on the world stage. Yet recent whispers suggest cracks beneath the surface of Jamaican athletics. Reports point to problems with track facilities, funding shortfalls, and inconsistent infrastructure. Issues that may be hampering athletes who once seemed unstoppable. For Lyles, these revelations spark a dual concern. Relief that rivals may be slowed by circumstances beyond their control, but also anxiety that his legacy could be measured against weakened competition. And therein lies the paradox. Greatness, he knows, is only validated when the stage is truly worthy. A sprinter's legacy, greatness needs rivals. Bolt had Tyson Gay. He had Justin Gatlin. He had Johan Blake. Every great sprinter is defined not just by their wins, but by the titans they conquered. For Lyles, the story is still unfolding. Yes, he has titles, yes, he has speed, and yes, he has ambition. But without peak Jamaicans at their best, the narrative risks sounding incomplete. This explains why reports of track problems in Jamaica leave Lyles uneasy. It is not merely about medals. It's about the weight of history. A 200-meter gold against Shericka Jackson, or a 100m victory against a fully fit Jamaican contender elevates his story. A win without such rivalry, however, carries less magic. So while some athletes might welcome news of weakened rivals, Lyles appears troubled. To him, a compromised Jamaican sprint system could rob him of the defining duels that build a champion's aura. What the reports reveal. According to the reports circling track and field circles, Jamaica is grappling with deteriorating training tracks. Several of the island's premier training facilities are said to be struggling with outdated surfaces, limiting the preparation of sprinters who require world-class conditions. Financial strains. With global athletics revenue uneven and domestic funding stretched, even top Jamaican athletes are feeling the pinch. Some rely heavily on international meets for financial stability. Coaching instability. While Jamaica has legendary sprint coaches, recent retirements and transitions have left pockets of uncertainty. This has raised questions about continuity in athlete development. For Noah Lyles, who thrives in structured, well-resourced environments in the United States, the contrast is stark. Yet he also knows that Jamaican sprinters often thrive because of adversity, turning limited resources into global triumphs. That unpredictability fuels his concern. Jamaica may be down, but never out. Lyles' current position, between confidence and caution, heading into major competitions, Lyles remains the favorite in the 200m and a growing force in the 100m. His confidence is sky-high, but he is also acutely aware of how unpredictable sprinting can be. Just one Jamaican resurgence, a breakout teenager, a rejuvenated veteran, could change everything. This is why the reports trouble him. Jamaica's challenges could either weaken the pipeline of talent or ignite a fire that produces yet another superstar. For Lyles, both outcomes carry weight. If Jamaica fades, his dominance risks being labeled circumstantial. If Jamaica rebounds, the battles ahead will test every ounce of his claim to be sprinting's new face. The psychological game. Athletics is not just about speed. It's about mindset. Noah Lyles has mastered the art of showmanship, often using words to disarm rivals before they even step on the track. Yet his Jamaican worries hint at a deeper layer. Respect. Unlike some who dismiss Jamaica as past its prime, Lyles respects the legacy enough to know it cannot be ignored. In interviews, he has often alluded to wanting the best version of his rivals. The latest reports now leave him wrestling with a paradox. How to celebrate his own progress without being shadowed by doubts over whether Jamaica's decline diminishes his achievements. The broader picture. Track and field at a crossroads. Lyles' unease also speaks to the bigger picture. Track and field, particularly sprinting, thrives on rivalries. USA versus Jamaica, Bolt versus Gatlin, Fraser Price versus Allison Felix. Without strong competition, the sport risks fading from mainstream attention. Lyles knows that for him to carry the torch into a new golden era, he needs Jamaican athletes at their best. This makes the track problems not just Jamaica's burden, but a global concern. The sport itself depends on healthy, robust competition between nations that have historically carried sprinting. What comes next? Reports suggest that Jamaican officials are working to address these concerns, with investments in new surfaces and efforts to stabilize coaching programs. Yet the path back to stability will take time. In the interim, Lyles must balance his ambitions with patience, understanding that his story will be written not in isolation, but in relation to the world's greatest sprinting island. For now, his worries deepen. Every headline about Jamaican struggles reminds him that greatness must be earned against giants, not shadows. And while he may benefit in the short term from weakened rivals, the long-term cost could be a legacy lacking the sharpness of Bolt's. Conclusion. A sprinter waiting for fire. Noah Lyles' Jamaican worries are not simply about rivals on the track. They are about the essence of sport itself. He knows that true greatness requires great adversaries. Without Jamaica's full strength, his path may look easier, but the weight of history will always demand more. So as reports of track problems surface, Lyles finds himself in a strange position, hoping Jamaica can fix its issues quickly, even though that means tougher battles for him. Because when the world remembers sprinting, it remembers rivalries, drama, and icons forged in the fire of